Hello all, this is Scott Grove of GroovyMusicLessons.com. I had a request for lots of different things, so I'm going to cover lots of different things. This particular video, a gentleman asked me, said, you know, he's pretty good at the rhythm guitar thing on acoustic guitar. Just wanted a bunch of licks and fills and cool rhythm things and cool lead things to stick in with all the chords. You know, said, you know, my chords, G, C's, D's, all that stuff are fine. I can switch chords fine. Okay, so, you know, he could play like that, and that's about it, though. He wants to wow the family, and that's pretty much it. You know, just sit at home dude, and just wants to throw in a few things that are going to kind of let him know that he's been working at the guitar, it is, and maximize his progress in the least amount of time possible. So that's what we're going to take care of today. We're going to throw in tons of licks that you can throw into straight rhythm stuff, but you don't have to worry about messing up the rhythm by tossing it in there. And same thing with actual strumming itself and rhythms and little tricks you can throw in. So I'll just basically shut my pie hole at this time, and we'll get to all the different chords and the different things that you can add to those chords, being the licks and different flavorful, beautiful things, transitions to get from one to the other, different things that just add flavor, okay, really, really fast. So this is like seeing how much hot sauce you guys can handle, okay, because there's going to be plenty of zest here. You guys got to just either drink it fast or drink it slow, you know, so take it at your own speed. Stop it where you got to, rewind it where you have to. It's not going anywhere, it's right here, okay? So let's get down to my beautiful black guitar here. And we got Mr. Paul Stanley joining us today. Hey Paul.
Hey Scott.
Okay, so what we're going to do here, let's just start with the most obvious thing, which I love to do, is the G chord, because it's the one and only chord that I 100% suggest and will ask you to please at all times make your G chords like this from here on out. You normally do them this way with an open B string. Get rid of that mess, okay? Let's actually put your two fingers covering it, so you end up like this, okay? So you've got your pinky covering that right now on your high E string 3rd fret. We now need your ring finger covering the B string also at the 3rd fret, then finishing up your G chord. Okay, old way. It just doesn't sound anything near as cool as what we're getting ready to do by doing it this way, the new way. Old way. New way. Okay, because you can't do that with the old way. It just doesn't sound right, and it never will. So play this thusly from here on out. Okay, for G, okay, you already know how to play this. Again, if you don't know certain things as well as other people, pause it, rewind it, whatever. If you already have a very good idea where we're going, skip ahead, okay? That's what the little buttons on your player are for. Okay, first thing, if you're sitting there playing along a G, and this is just the most basic thing, but I'm going to cover everything from basic to very cool, and I'm going to cover them all very fast so I can cram them in here within about an hour's time, if not less, okay? Okay, if you're in G and you're getting ready to go to C, if most of you don't know, depending on the kind of music you're playing, whether it be, if this happens to be country or gospel or something like that, and you're just playing by yourself, of course, which is, you know, the way this young man plays, Of course, going to a 7th chord is always a great way to just get to the next chord. Before you go to the C chord, okay? And so that's just going from the G to the G7. You have to redo everything, of course, but that just adds your first finger at the 1st fret on the high E string. Then the other 2 notes of your old G chord are still the same, but you're using different fingers. So you're using your ring, your middle, then finally, okay, so if G, G7, then down to C, then you wouldn't change it again. Okay, and that works for every single thing. So all you have to do is take the root note, meaning whatever the chord is called, and flatten it or take it down by 2 frets. So if you're actually playing in the key of D and getting ready to go from D to G, okay, we're no longer in the key of G, we're just playing in the key of D. And you're getting ready to go to the G chord, your D7 would be okay, so you just took the D, back 2 frets, reconfigure your fingers. So I took that finger and then put everything else back where they were, but using whatever fingers you have to get them there. Okay, so that's just one great way to get a little flavor from one chord to the other. Okay, so let's go back to G and get all the cool licks. Okay, so that's just a basic idea, using the 7th chord to get from your 1st chord to your 2nd chord in whatever key you're in. Great thing about being like an A, if you're an A, and you're getting ready to go to D, you can actually just lift up your middle finger because that takes the A note, open, down 2 frets. Up to D. Okay, pretty cool. So there you go. Okay, so let's go to G and get a bunch of licks going. Okay, one very easy one is this. Okay. Okay, this is going to do this. It's basically like play a C chord. Now take off that finger. Okay, easiest way to show it to you. Okay, now take that whole thing and we're going to hit the D string and move it up 2 frets, both fingers. And then hit the B string. So you have, okay, okay, see what I'm doing? The same thing exactly there. Hitting the D string, then hitting the B string, hitting the D string, then hitting the B string again. Okay, so D, B, D, B strings. Then actually hit D, G, B strings all together. Or hit a G chord. Okay, that's another way to do it, which I really like, if you can manage it. It's a slide going back, then hitting, okay, so you're still hitting the 4th fret, slide it down to the 2nd fret. So you have slide up, then slide backward. Pretty cool, huh? And you can go right to that G or this. Okay, so that's one cool thing. It's really cool when you're coming to a stop. Okay? Then you're going to sing. Okay? So you're jamming along. And that's a good little thing to play there. Another one is the same thing, but you're just moving your middle finger. Okay? Now you have these two. So 2nd fret on your G, 1st fret on your B. So okay, so you can choose either one. Okay, so it's exactly the same, just move one finger down. Okay? So you can choose. Or take your pick, okay? Use all three, I don't care. But those are cool ways. Now let's do some cool licks. In G, one of my favorite licks, I've taught this before, but it's so worth learning again, which is as much of this as you can handle. This sounds so much more difficult than it is, okay? 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 Yeah, you're like, yeah, right. Okay, yeah, right. I am right. Okay, this is nothing more than what are called pull-offs, going from the 3rd fret. Okay, so go to your high E string, have your middle finger waiting in the wings on the 2nd fret. Take your 1st finger as you see it, your ring finger on the 3rd fret, pull it off, meaning down, so you're actually plucking the string, and then pull off again to the open string, so you only pick it one time. Practice that as much as you have to till you have it down. You're only picking it one time. No other shortcut will work. This is the only way to make it work. So if you have to stop this whole thing now, do it till you have that right. Because you have to do this on every single string except for the low E string. And doing that a bunch of times on the same string is not a bad thing as far as practice and getting your fingers limbered up. Okay, so we need you to do this. I'm going to show it to you quickly because we have many things to move on to. Okay, that gets you back to G, open G string. Okay, but we get to keep going. See, I told you it's going to go fast. Okay. Okay. The way this whole lick is going to work out, and do whatever you have to remember this, because it's a timing thing, is, and then you actually go down to the D string, and you stop there. Okay. Then you go back to the G string, and you finally end on just the 3rd fret. So you have, then, so that gives you this. And that takes time. That's the exact lick. And it really is nothing. Once you get the first one done, it's just so easy because you get really, unless you're playing bluegrass, you never have to really play it that fast. That would be like, see. So I can't even hardly do it. I have to get a better playing guitar hanging over there to do it, but. So that's one lick that is just very cool. A lick that I played earlier in this, yeah, that's all I'm going to show you. You get to work on that on your own, is the walking down lick. Okay. Okay, that is going from the D string, 3rd fret, middle finger, sliding it up. You hit it on the 3rd fret, go right up 2 frets, and that's going to be a G note. Then you hit the G string up. So you have 2 of the same note. Then you're going to go back to where you started at the 3rd fret, and back up again on your G string, down to the 2nd fret, open. So every other one you're hitting that G string up. Then we have A string, okay, that is open A string, hammer on, mean take your finger and actually hammer it to the 2nd fret of the A string, and then your 3rd finger, hammer it again to the 3rd fret. You're only getting 1 pick again. Then you actually hit the D string down and the G string down. So you have then reach up with the same finger you have here and grab your G string on the 3rd fret, or your G note, I'm sorry, on the low E string. Okay? So you can go. And that's one I really like to do a lot, is during G, is doing just the 2 middle strings, G string, D string. Okay, so it's just a way to do that without having to do everything. So real quick, don't do everything exactly as I tell you. Use it as a suggestion. Come up with your own ways to play these things and your own ways to mess them up and make them your own. If you do them exactly my way, you're just copying what I'm doing. So copy them at first, but then mess around with them and make them work for you, okay? These are just suggestions, and then you play around with them as much as you can. Because it's just what music's about, man. Make it fun, okay? So play them backwards, play them forwards, start in the middle, go towards the front, then start in the middle again, go back opposite way, whatever. You get the idea. Okay, so some more in G. These are nice, easy things. Okay, so you're like, well, the last one wasn't. Well, it actually is. It's just everything is muscle memory. So it's just your fingers have to just get used to doing it, and then you could be on a 5-day drunk and your fingers will remember how to do it. You can go on stage and play that totally in your sleep, and you'll wake up and wonder how the show got done. That's because your fingers remember how to do it. Trust me, I've been there. Okay, a lot of shows I haven't been to that they claim I actually played, and played pretty well. Another pretty easy thing that is extremely cool, so this person also wanted some flash. If you know your harmonics, G is a great one. Harmonics are when you put your fingers directly over top of the fret, but you do not push down. Okay? You'll hear them really good right above your 12th fret. So not behind it, not in front of it, but directly atop of it, and you're barely touching them. If you let off of them after you hit them, they ring like church bells. Okay? Same, that's on the 12th fret, and these are, that makes a G chord. 7th fret gives you a D chord. 5th fret, if you can do it, doesn't want to do it on this guitar very well, but that gives you another G chord. There it is. Okay, but the 12th fret is the easiest one to hit. There you go, 5th fret. That's the one I was looking for. But if you're just playing along, you can just reach up here. Or what, even cooler, especially 12th fret, if you could reach there, grab enough, quick enough to grab it, you can or go to D, so you can see that's just a cool way to, you've heard it a million times, that's how you get it. So that's a D at the 7th fret. You can play doorbell sounds. Okay, so, okay, also in the key of G is this simple thing. Okay, we're going to start here. So take a look. 3rd finger, G string, 4th fret. Then you get your middle finger, high E string, 3rd fret. So 4th and 3rd. We're doing nothing with the B string at all. Next one, you're switching it up. You're going 5th and 5th fret without the B string again. We're not using the B string at all. Okay, so you got, so slide up to it if you can. And then up to 7 and 7. Slide up if you can. Those are just cool things that you can use to enhance your playing. Okay, so it's just real quick notes that you can toss in. Okay, one other quick thing I'm going to show you while we're here in G are the other notes that you can add in. Okay, so you're playing in G. You can take these 2 fingers, they're stuck like glue, bring them down, and that is a C chord. It's actually called a C suspended second, but you can go to C and right back to G just by those 2 fingers. Okay, so you can even actually play a C chord that way if you just don't want to play a regular C chord. You like that sound better? Okay, so it's just another cool way of playing things. And it makes for to play that little thing I showed you earlier. Okay, again, these are just ways to get other notes. Okay, the other notes that you can actually use while you're just sitting here playing are on the D string, okay, is open, then 2nd fret on the D string, and open and 2nd fret on the G string. And you can use your 1st finger to reach down and grab either of those notes anytime you want. Okay, now these are the ones you're going to be really enjoying because you need these more than anything. Everything else from here on out is going to be a lot of this kind of thing. Now I'm just going D string, hammering onto the 2nd fret of the D string, and then hitting the open G. So it's, okay, so it's hit it, hammer on, and then up on your G string. Watch here too. Okay, see that? Now if you do want to use your old G chord, you can do the same exact thing with your deal on your G string. Or you can do it as we have it here. Okay, now you can go back and forth between the 2. Okay, you hear how this is happening? Okay, now you hear something else wanting to happen. If you can get used to it, use this whole thing again, okay, with everything else. Yeah, that's what I showed you before. Okay, it's starting to make sense now. Okay, so there's everything put together that I just showed you. Plus, you can put an extra one in there if you want from this. Even going up. You've heard this. A million times. So that's why these things work. Okay, so here's all the fancy stuff. Okay, let's go through all the chords and get all the little things that you can add to it. Okay, so those are the notes you can add to it, are those notes. Okay, and you can mess around with them all kinds of ways because all the secrets lie in here. You've heard of them. Okay, listen. See, I'm just going right back to the open A string. We did that earlier. You can and there we went to the 7th before we went to the next chord. So again, rewind, rewind, pause, fast forward, whatever you need to do. C is a very Spanish word for yes. It is also a chord. Okay? The notes that you can use are all over the place, actually. Okay, check it. Pinky time. Yes, I have amazing glare here, but so be it. Pinky, pinky, pinky. C chord. Okay, of course you know that you can do your... If you need to, you know, boom, 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 boom. If you didn't, now you know. Okay, so your pinky can go on every single string at the 3rd fret. Okay, every single string that you can reach with your pinky is valid here. Okay, but you have to get rid of it at some point. Here on the high E string, it's fine to leave it there if you want, but you got to get rid of it sometime. To resolve means get right back to your regular C chord. But check out all the different places, or all the different sounds. Okay, here it is on the high E string. Here it is on the B string. So you can't leave it there long. You have to resolve. It's fine here. So nothing's really weird sounding. Here on the G string, that gives you a C7. Okay, that's kind of bluesy, or the passing chord, the passing tone actually, gives you your C7 in case you're getting ready to go to the F. It's like you're in the key of C. Right before you go to F. So there's that chord. And then on the D string, that's another one you can't leave there very long, but it adds flavor. Okay, so you have... Okay, so on your high E, you can leave it all you want. And also know that you can take your first finger, flatten it out, and cover the high E string at the 1st fret. Take it back off. Normal C chord, so you have... Then... So generally you won't do the G string unless you're getting ready to go to the F for the C7. So that just sounds like you're getting ready to go there. That's generally the reason why you would do a 7th chord. But like I said, you can go to everything on the 3rd fret with a C chord. Okay. As far as all the others, not much place to go. You do have the one last place here for this middle finger. It's not what you're thinking, no. You can actually take it and put it on the 2nd fret on your G string. Okay, so everything you could think of to do with it there. Same thing. Hammer-ons. A lot of people will do that with this. Okay, before we go on, same guy. I'm not going to say somebody, it's the same guy that asked for this video. He asked for cool picking things, rhythm things. Better get it while I'm right here, because I just did one, and this was for the country thing, whatever. I'll grab them as they appear. That one. Playing drums and guitar at the same time. It's a big Johnny Cash thing. His was... Now if you, right here on YouTube, just write Scott Grove Johnny Cash, you'll see one of my videos that say Johnny Cash style. You'll learn how to do that whole style. Nothing but that boom, boom, chicka boom, chicka boom. It's all there. It's free, of course, so go check it out. But same thing here. Part of that is me actually letting up. Don't push down on your frets. Let up the pressure. But the other part is having this part of your hand on the strings. You know, just like if you lay your hand on across your strings, there's nothing there. And if you do it here too, you're doubly muting everything. Muting meaning you're shutting these strings up. So doom, chick, chick, boom, boom, chick, boom, chick, chick, boom, chick, chick, boom, chick, chick. Okay, click, click, down, up. Okay, so you can see how that can be very handy. Boom, chicka, boom, boom, boom. So you play a note, boom, chicka, then boom, chicka, boom, boom, chicka, whatever you want to do. But the boom, chicka is very cool. Okay, even if you're not a country fan, boy, you better have that thing in your repertoire, because somebody's going to be, and you're going to have to be the guy with the guitar that has to pick your booty off. Okay, so there we have everything we can do. And you can do this. Sneak up one note behind that C. Okay? So there's another one. Okay? And going to, let's see what else. We were in G, C, now let's go to D. Okay. That string's not liking me today for some reason. Close enough for country or rock and roll or whatever we're going to play. Okay, D chord. Okay, all the places we can play here are almost limitless, but let's take them down a notch, which means knock these out so they're no longer limitless. Let's limit them. Okay, you can lift your first finger. Hammer on time. Stop. Hammer on time. Okay, now everything that I'm taking off and adding back on, hammering them off, you can leave them off or you can leave them on. Again, these are suggestions. Check it out. This is a great chord. Here's D, and I'm sitting here showing you that you can do this. I'm going to show you a whole bunch of things that you can go ba-ding, ba-ding, because I'm a country guy. You may be something totally else. You know, is that proper English? I ain't thinking so. But you can just leave that off. And this is D suspended 4. Okay? And it's actually a cool chord. Same thing is if I add my pinky, I just put this one back, and add my pinky onto the 3rd fret of the high E string. It's the same chord, it's just an octave higher. Because all we're doing is adding a G note to the chord. Same thing here, I'm not playing the A, I'm just doing the G. So it would be. Or do it this way and add the G on the high E string. A lot of people prefer the higher ones, but just wanted to let you know that it can be done here. Okay, so now you know you can do one here. You can also do your this, and yes, you can do this. Don't say you can't, because you can. Your pinky can stretch to the 5th fret. That's right, the next dot. Everybody's can. You say it can't, no, it's just a matter of your elbow, how relaxed you have it, what angle you have your wrist at. It's possible. Short people, meaning tiny people, meaning whatever you want to call short people, vertically challenged, can do this. People with great big old chubby hands can do it. People with long skinny ET fingers like me can do it. Everybody can do this. So it is possible for everybody. Trust me. You just have to do it. Okay, there, 5th fret, 3rd fret, back to normal. Let off of that first high E string there. So that means lift your middle finger. Back on. So you have. So you have all those you could do. And the other ones are on the D string, open, 2nd fret, 4th fret. Then finally back to the 2nd fret on your G string. And you're back to normal. Okay, so you can hear all the different things. You've heard a bunch of songs in here getting ready to happen. Let's see. Okay, a thing a lot of people like to do when they're in the key of D is do this. Is doing the D string, then B string up, G string up, see? Then reach up with your ring finger, I'm sorry, your middle finger, that guy. Reach up, right through them. Then you're going to plant it right there on the 3rd fret of your A string. Okay, and play only. See? Okay, you can do those 3. You're not playing anything else. You can hold a finger there on your other D note on your B string, but get rid of everything else. Bring that middle finger up, put it on the 3rd fret of the A string. Play your A string, D string, G string. Then the next finger, 2nd fret, same thing. You can go down one more string or one more fret, and you can go to the G chord if you want. But this is all cool too. Remember, D is the 7th fret with what? Harmonics. Ah-ha-ha! How cool is that? You're like, you didn't show us this. Okay, 3rd fret, A string and D string. Hammer on, pull off. Okay, so that's A, hammer on 3rd fret, then D string, then 3rd fret again on the A string, then D string 3rd fret, pull it down just a little bit, and then just pull off. So that's just your middle finger reaching up and grabbing everything. So find a finger, reach up, grab something. Or this finger can move. Okay, so use your fingers. It don't matter if they're planted or not. Find a place for them to go to. If it sounds like garbage, don't do it again. Those all sound good to me. Ooh! There it is. Okay, so those are D. So we got G, C, D. We need to hurry up because I'm running out of time. Why am I running out of time? It's just the time limits I put on these videos. That's all it is. I like to keep them at an hour if I can for these freebies. Okay, so now let's go to E. Regular E chord. And then try to possibly tune again. Am I there? Good enough. Okay, so you got your E chord. Again, just like in your G where you used to be able to drop 2 fingers down, you could do it in E too. And just drop them down. You got E. Drop them down, you got A. It's an A suspended second, but it's still a version of A. It's another cool rhythm thing. Okay, so. You can grab that and go to E, or here. I like this one better on the 3rd fret. Use them all. Okay, so the fingers that you can move to where can you move them? You can actually, of course, we already know, hammer on those 2. And of course, that one too. Always hammer on stuff. Okay, so hammer on stuff. There's that rhythm again. Okay, so you can go all over the place. Your pinky can go on the high E string, 2nd fret, and 4th fret. Back to the 4th. I'm sorry, 2nd, and then back open. Or resolve it. Okay, it can go to the 2nd fret on the B string. It can go to the 2nd fret, of course, on every string. And resolve. It's just a nice sounding thing. Same thing before. You can do that in every single key, of course. You're in E now, so you can't fret something that's not here. So okay. So this is very important. If you can ever get to it, pinky 4th fret on the A string. I was grabbing the 3rd fret that time on the low E string. I tried to go to the 5th fret on my hands, both of them. Just followed right on up. Okay, so you could go there. For the E go into the A chord. Of course, the E7 is just going to the E7, which is 3rd fret on your B string. So E, E7, then to A, back to E, B7. Okay, so there's all the stuff you can do in E. Okay, let's go to the rest of the chords and get out of here. I went to B7 already. Surely you know it. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. So go to B7. Is on the B string, or not B string, A string, sorry, 2nd fret, middle finger. Skip a string, go to the G string, 2nd fret. Skip a string, go to the E string, 2nd fret. So you got 2nd fret and a skip a string all the time, all the way across. Okay, just like that. Skip a string, skip a string, skip a string. I can't talk, but and then we have to add our 1st finger on the D string, 1st fret. Play from your A string down. Okay, that's about all there is to do with your B7. There's not much to do. Sorry, wish there was, but there's not. That's why you use a capo. And that's that goofy little thing that you slap on here that helps you whenever you need to learn. Do I have one laying right here? Used to did, now it's hiding. Okay, you know what a capo is, that plastic thing. You just squeeze it and it goes right here. You can play in any key you want. Okay, anyway, for B7, about the only thing you can do is right before you go back to an E. So you're in a song that's an E, E7, A, play some stuff, back to E. I walked up, yeah, just going from the A string, up 1 fret, then up to B7. Is going up 1 fret on your high E string. That's all you've got for your B7. I wish there was more, but there isn't, folks. There's just nothing else to do. Okay, so that's all that is with the B section. Okay, so we've done A is the one that is the most important, and here's why, because there's more here than anything. Okay, let's do your A. Okay, for people who normally play an A chord like this, great. Play it that way for now. Hammer on, pull off. So there too, this one. So all of them. All these notes again, listen to them, play them, all these chords, playing without one of the fingers there. See how it sounds. Sounds great, you know, play it. Okay, so now you can also add, to reach it, let's make it like this now. Let's make your A like this. Okay, all the way up to the 5th fret on the high E string. And you can do the 5th fret on the B string. You can cover them both at the same time. It's a beautiful sounding chord. Cover both, and you can, for the same reason I was talking about earlier. No matter how short, big, long, skinny, pudgy your fingers are, the only way you can't reach it is no way, because look, you got another finger. Even if your pinky's cut off, I can reach with the next finger, it don't matter. Okay, so say you can't reach it with your pinky, bull. Okay, so the things we can play here are limitless almost. A string, 2nd fret, 4th fret. Now we're in this A. Okay, now we're going to use this finger to go, that's D string, now to the 4th fret. Now G string, 4th fret. Now B string, 3rd fret, 5th fret. Now E string, 4th fret, 5th fret. Okay, check that out. Or all those. And even the B string, of course. Okay? So on your B string, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret. Then the next one's different. 2nd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret. What does that do? Everything. This is the most important one. All your melodies of every song you've ever wanted to learn in your life lie right here in this chord and these notes. It's all there, no matter what you want to do. Okay? So these are very important. Again, I have to zip through these. But these are the most important ones. And I zipped through them. But that is what is called your major scale. Okay? You can do the open D string. And right here, before the A, that's actually your whole entire scale. Then open D, 2, 4. Okay, right there. Then back to here. That's just another octave of the whole thing. Same thing repeated, just going. So do that a bunch of times. The coolest thing about this, remember when I said in B7 we couldn't do anything except for that? Now all bets are off because we are in A. Take the whole thing just like a capo, like that thing I was trying to look for, but so too bad. Move it up 2 frets. Now we're in B. So now we can do everything we just did in A. You're like, did we do that in A? Yeah, those are the notes we used. But whatever you want to do, this is, like I said, this is the magic right here. A lot more than we could do with that B7 and have to settle for it. No matter where you want to put that. That's A, there's B, there's C. We had all the things we could do in C here. But now we have all the things we can do in C just the same as we did the A. Hammer-ons, pull-offs, hammer-ons, pull-offs. D. E. So everything that you've just learned before, you just doubled it right now. Okay, E. And I'm hitting the low E string. Whatever you want to play with it, you can do it now. Just use your imagination. Okay? So that is everything except for the F. Okay? This is where it gets cool, kids. Even cooler. Okay, F chord. You've seen it, you hate it, but you have to know it. F. Basically here, just like the C, you can go boom, 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 and you can do everything on the 3rd fret with your pinky. But if you like F there, move it up 2 frets. Now do G. You're like, okay, so I could do G everywhere there. And I can do G everything here. From the beginning. And I can do this. And you can still use that one finger A chord, move it up to G. Or the same thing would be open. Now you just have to remember what notes were there. You get it? Okay. So even if you're in F, and that's not enough stuff for you, you can use that one finger, go up to the F. So whatever note that is on your G string will determine what chord you're playing here. So up here on the 10th fret on the G string, that's an F. So if there's G, go back to, there's F. Okay, so just too much fun there to have. So use everything I showed you. If you're using D, hey, take the whole thing, move it up. You got E. And move it up one more, you got F. Huh? You're like, what? Yeah. All this ties it together. Move it up 2 more, you got G. Now you have more stuff to add to that G we did at the beginning. You have this now. And shaped like an F. And shaped like an A. All these things tie together. And even A. It's got so much to do anyway, but we can do an F just like it. And we can do a D chord shaped like it. It just goes forever, okay? So there you go. That's as much as I can offer you for free today. I will do more on this. But once again, Scott Grove, GroovyMusicLessons.com. I wish I could have got more into the rhythm thing, and I will do more of this stuff coming up very soon. But that's just the first piece of the puzzle of fancying up your blasé, your boring old acoustic guitar tracks. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, check out all the free lessons. Click the link below. They're gonna keep getting more and more and more and more and more. And drop a nickel in my jar over there at the website every now and then and say thanks. Okay, catch you with the next free lesson. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye bye, folks.